Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Yehudah Israel with another edition of the School of Knowledge on our Sabbath day. We would like to thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we're going into our class reading, and we wanted everybody to get a chance to go through this topic with us. We're going into the name of our lesson is the 10 Kings, the human hybrids ruling the earth. I can't go over this enough to be able to express what we are experiencing now, because the more that I research and the more that I study, the more that I realize that we are living in a society where the people that are ruling have connections to outside sources. And the more I read and the more I research, the more I come up with that answer. And I wanted to share that with you today. We're going to go through different things and cover different areas today. I just want to make sure that we're on the right page. So it's called the 10 Kings. And the reason why I bring up the 10 Kings, the human hybrids ruling the earth, is because we have to go into the book of Daniel. This is all a part of the end time prophecy. It's a part of the right to rule. It is a part of the bloodlines and all of that, and we have to understand what this is all about. All right, here we go. Let's start with it. And we're going to Daniel chapter 2, verses 41 to 45. And we're at 41. And it says, "And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with my clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Whereas thou sawest iron mixed with my clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." Now, this is very important. I mean, this is one of the most important scriptures in the book as it pertains to hybrids. A lot of people have interpreted this different ways, and they've come up with different conclusions when it comes to this. But any time that you mingle yourselves with the seed of men, what does that mean?
That you actually
have human and have something else.
Married. I didn't hear you.
That you have human and have something else.
Have human and have something else. When you talk about the seed of men, that's the humanity part of man. You know, and everybody be like, well, where are they coming from? We're going to cover all that today. Hold on, we're going to get there. And in the days of these kings, so in the days of the human hybrid, in the days of the kings coming from the heavens, in the days of all of this, it says, "Shall the Elohim of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed." So the Most High is not really waiting until after their reign is over. It is while they are reigning, He is going to come and upset the whole program. Watch. "And the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou saw that stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that is break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Elohim has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure." What does that mean when Daniel was telling Nebuchadnezzar, the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure? What does that mean?
That means there's no doubt it's going to happen. This is what it is.
There's no doubt that it's going to happen for sure. There's no doubt that it's going to happen. Sister Tanaya, are you there today?
Yes, I'm here. I was on mute.
Do you have access to the chat?
I do.
Will you please make sure that whatever is being talked about in the chat is about the class?
Sure. Okay.
I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you. All right, here we go. So we talked about last week, we talked about cloning. We talked about that organization that's insecure with cloning. We went over that all last week. Anybody have anything you want to talk about that last week? About, this whole issue of cloning human beings. We talked about the cloning of animals on the radio show on Sunday, and we have just taken ourselves into a whole nother level when it comes to technology, the human being able to transform themselves and to reproduce themselves, to reduplicate themselves. Not something, to duplicate themselves. Anybody have anything to say about that? Hey, let's keep going. I'm not going to hold it. Here we go. And we know about the rallying movement that teaches about the extraterrestrial. That's their symbol. They have the symbol of the swastika, and they have the symbol of what the Israelis call the symbol of David, which we know that we didn't have a symbol, but they mixed those two together, and that's what they came up with. So we don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that today. Now we're going to talk about the rebellion, the Most High the gods coming to the earth. How many rebellions were there in the Bible as it pertains to the gods? Anybody know?
I don't know that one.
2.
You say 2? All right. Anyway, which 2 were they?
The one was Satan, when Satan, when they were warring up there, and Satan left. And the other one is the people who followed him.
Okay, who followed him? What do you mean, the people who followed him?
The gods up there who followed him.
Okay, the gods who followed him. Okay, all right. Anybody else?
What about the Tower of Babel?
Okay, the Tower of Babel. All right, it was a rebellion. What happened at the Tower of Babel?
Man started to separate from God and started to do his own thing.
Okay.
The God came down and destroyed the tower.
Okay. Now, that's the rebellion of man. That is true. That is the rebellion of man. That is very true. Okay, well, what we're talking about, though, remember, we're talking about the God. What happened at the Tower of Babel that made it so significant as it pertains to the God?
They were appointed, there were 70 of them that were appointed over each nation.
Right. There were 70 gods that were appointed over each nation. And we're going to get to that. I want to deal with one rebellion at a time. And we're going to take our time because I need some clarification on something. And I'm waiting on the Most High to give me that revelation. I do not have it yet, but I want to know what you think. All right, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 through 5. Here we go. It says, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, has Yah said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for Yah do know it, that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as God, knowing good and evil. All right. Somebody tell me what just happened in that conversation. Now, let me stop you. Before you start yelling out, don't think of it from the perspective of Christianity. But think of it from the perspective of what we have been talking about as it pertains to the 1/3 in Israel. What just happened in that conversation? Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to read it again. Listen very carefully at what's going on. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman. Now the serpent he's having a conversation with this human being, this human woman. And he said, yea, have Yah said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? What's happening right there?
He's convincing her. He's convincing.
He's repeating what y'all said. And he's twisting what y'all said. He's twisting the truth. Check this out. He's twisting the truth, but he's asking a question because he heard the conversation. He had to have heard the conversation. Correct.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, I'm going to need your help here in a minute because I was reading this and I'm like, wait a minute. And he said unto the woman, yea, has Yah said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Every tree of the garden? So he said, what did he tell you? Did he tell you you can't eat of every tree of the garden? So he's getting ready to manipulate because he already knows what's up.
Mm-hmm.
He's dealing with a being that knows what's up because why does he know more than anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Why does Lucifer know better than anybody?
Well, because
he was there in the kingdom. Lucifer was there, and he
was there. And he what?
I think we need to get it clear. Lucifer wasn't there. There was no Lucifer. That's just the name they gave him later on down the line, because I don't think I've seen no Lucifer in Genesis. But that serpent, that snake, he was there. He listened to everything, and he meticulously manipulated the Most High words different than how he worded it. And he wasn't even talking to her. He was talking to Adam.
Okay. That's one concept. Who else?
So I thought he was the cherubim.
Okay, let me clear up something right now. Let me say this. Lucifer was not a cherubim. And I've heard so many people say he was a cherubim. What is the significance of a cherubim? What do they look like? Now, I know my people know that. I know my people know this. What is the significance of the cherubim and what do they look like? Because they were actually in the temple. So I know we know what they look like. They had wings. How many did they have?
1, 2, 3, 4 sets. 1, 2 sets. 4 wings.
No, 6. How many did they have? 6. They had 6. They had 6 wings. How many faces did they have? 4. Name them. What was the 4 faces? Because I've been teaching too long now. What was the 4 faces that the cherubim had?
Like a
lion,
man,
eagle,
goat,
ox, and an oxen. And an oxen.
Okay. Yes.
A man, an eagle, an oxen, and what's the other?
A lion.
And a lion. Those are the 4 faces of the cherubim. Lucifer was not a cherubim. What was Lucifer? What was he? Archangel. No, he was not Caucasian. What was Lucifer?
I'm right here, but Lucifer, you're talking about a reptilian. Reptilian.
He was a seraphim.
Seraphim. Okay.
And a seraphim was more reptilian than anything.
Well,
that's why they say he stood upright. Because the seraphim was more of he had a reptilian look more than anything.
Okay. Well, I thought he was supposed to be beautiful in appearance.
He was.
Looking like a...
Not what you see on TV, Sister Sanaya. Not what you see online. Don't throw all that out, because the Most High has warned man not to make any image of anything.
Oh, right, okay.
He warned us not to do that. And not only do we do that, but we even put them online for other people to see, to give an image of what they think it looks like.
Exactly.
He told you, you didn't see any, especially Israelites, and we still got them drawing down with fiery red eyes and all kind of stuff. He said you have not had the opportunity to see any of that. You didn't see any symbolism or any similitude of anything.
And that's why we don't see any pictures of our people from back in the day, because we didn't make those pictures and emblems like all the other nations.
We were not allowed to do that. We were not allowed to give any image. And that's why I still wait. And let me say this to you all. I know some of you have gone into other books, and you have read other books. We're not going to do that today. We're going to stick with the scriptures today. We're talking about the Bible. I know the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible and are all there, but a lot of things that we have read, I read some weird off-the-wall stuff today that I had to deprogram myself from, and I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to be the topic of conversation, but after the class I will, and I'm going to show you as an example why I steer clear from a whole lot of that stuff, because you have to be very careful with what you read. But getting back to this, he's manipulating the conversation. He's talking to the woman from the perspective that he was there, and he's asking a question to get ready to deceive the woman. And that is a part of manipulation. Watch what he says. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Did they die?
no, but they might as well have had him.
Well, they did, but I mean, yeah, after they lost,
they were the Lord was out of you.
Died in the flesh, yes.
So you said, well, now, wait a minute. One lady said no. What did you say, Sister Sanaya?
Now, I said they eventually died in the flesh, yes. But they were gods, but they weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to die, right?
Oh, wait. Oh, what did you say? They was what now?
They were gods.
Oh, they was gods.
Yes.
So they weren't supposed to die.
They weren't. Yeah, they weren't ordinary humans. Yes.
But let me ask you a question. Did they die spiritually?
Yeah. At that point, after they ate, after they ate it, after they did what they did, yes.
So they did die?
Yes. Sin entered in, yes.
So he was partially true and partially a lie.
Right, half truth.
Say again?
Half truth, which is actually a lie.
Half truth, which is actually a lie.
Yes.
Right. Now watch what happens. For Yah know. Now he's getting ready to tell them what Yah know. He says, for Yah doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as God, knowing good and evil. But Sanaya said they was already God.
They were, but they didn't know sin.
Oh, so they didn't know sin. So then, hold this, don't say nothing else. So if they was God and they didn't know sin, what is sin, Sanaya?
What is sin?
Yes, what is sin? Say it again.
Obedience of, the law, statutes, and commandments.
Sin is the transgression of the law.
Transgression, yeah.
Believing that they can be the same as God in their hearts. Or disobeying God.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. Somebody get 1 Peter chapter 3. Somebody pull that up, just one person. And I want you to start at verse 1 and read down to verse 4.
Likewise, 1 Peter chapter 3, likewise, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
I'm sorry, not 1 Peter. I'm sorry, not 1 Peter, 1 John. I'm sorry. I'm like, wait a minute, what's she talking about? Husband stuff? 1 John 3:4. I'm like, husband, wait a minute. I apologize. 1 John. 1 John, yes, ma'am. 1 John 3:1-4, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we shall be called the sons of Elohim. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because
that's not it.
Him not. No?
Keep on.
Beloved, now are we the sons of Elohim, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when He shall appear, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is. And every man that hath this hope in Him purifieth himself, even as He is pure. Whosoever committeth sin trespasseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
Say it again. Read that one more time. That one verse 4. What does it say?
Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
Watch it now.
That was 1 John 4.
That's 1 John, verse 4. Chapter 3, verse 4.
Okay.
He said, whosoever committed sin transgresses the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
No, thank you. That was good.
Oh, that's good.
I have a good.
Okay, somebody is, hey, we taping and somebody's talking. Can you put your phone on mute, please? Thank you. I appreciate it. So, back to the question. Watch what he said. He says, for y'all do know it, that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as God, knowing good and evil. Sanaya said they were already God, but they didn't know sin. The question was, what is sin? So let me ask the group again. What is sin?
Transgression of
the transgression of the law. The transgression of the law. Oh, I got to ask that again. Y'all get French chills through me. What is sin?
Transgression of the law.
The transgression of the law. So if they didn't know sin and they didn't know about the law, who knew about it first?
Lucifer.
Lucifer. He knew.
Wait a minute. You're confusing me now. Where is Lucifer? I don't see that. I've read this twice already. Did I miss something?
Yes, we'll talk about it after class. We're going back after class.
That ain't right. So you're going to throw me under the bus because I don't see
I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I promise. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I got you. Just hold on. I'm going to a point. But I don't want to stop my point. Just hold on. I'm going to get you.
Okay.
So he knew about the law. So question is the law new?
No.
No. No. Because y'all brought the law with him when he came where?
To the garden.
Y'all, I'm talking about y'all. When y'all brought the law with him when he came where?
To the mountain.
To Mount Sinai. So he brought the law with him when he came to Mount Sinai. So the law is not new. So somewhere in the kingdom, there was an event that happened when Lucifer broke the law. When he broke the law, what did he find out? What did he come to understand? Right here in the scripture.
Good and evil.
Say it again.
Good
and evil.
He knew the difference between good and evil.
So he's the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Now see, don't you do that. We ain't going there. No. I know that concept. I know that concept, and I used to believe that concept. But the problem about that concept is that if you believe that concept, then that would make Yah the tree in the middle of the garden that they could eat of, the one that they could touch, that they could eat forever.
It's too angry.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going, Brother Leonard. I know where you're going, but just for argument's sake.
Okay.
Because if we go there today, we're going to be in a whole bunch of mess. They might ostracize us, and I can't do that right now. I know where you're going. I do. I know where you're going. Believe me, I have struggled with that for many, many years. But anyway, just say for argument's sake that this tree was a tree. Just for argument's sake that it was a tree. And that there was something on the tree that was edible. Because the teaching is that trees are men. And that these trees represent angelic forces. That's what the teaching is. And that one tree was Lucifer, and the other tree was God, was Yah. And that they could choose which tree they wanted to engage in. And when they chose the tree that was the one they were not supposed to take, they participated in illicit behaviors with the serpent. That's where I don't want to go.
Okay.
That's what that whole, I know where you're going. That's what the whole teaching is. Now, I believe, Brother Leonard, that they still participated in illicit behavior. I do. I believe in that garden, everything took place. From bestiality, because he was a serpent, to homosexuality, because he could transform himself into male or female. I believe that they engaged in illicit behavior because they were not physical with each other before then. And I believe that girl got pregnant with two different beings inside of her.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. I do. I believe that. I believe that because of what she did, and Adam did it too, that they allowed Lucifer's son to be born first. I believe that. That gave him the power over the whole story. That's when redemption kicked in. But we ain't going to mess with that right now. No. We're going to go back to the basics because we got to stay at the basics. We got to stay here because this is what we say to it. Because we got people that will be like, what are you talking about? What? He knew the difference between good and evil. Why? Because he had already experienced it. He experienced the difference between good and evil. Because why? How did he experience it? He disobeyed the law at some point, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had to have done it. In order for him to be able to have this conversation with us, he had to have done it. Some people say, well, what did he do? When he said, I'm going to exalt myself above God's throne. I'm going to be like the Most High. I'm going to I. So he knew. So when the Most High created Adam and Hava, or Eve, they were already God. But when they partook, and they did it anyway, they died spiritually, didn't they?
Yes. Yes.
I'm going somewhere with this. So then I think about what we said earlier down the line. We got 1/3 that was kicked out of heaven, right? They were kicked out. They were swept out of the heavens by the dragon's tail, according to Revelation chapter 12. They were flung to the earth. Somebody said the story of redemption kicked in. The Most High creates man. He forms him from the mud. He stands him up. He blows into his nostril, and he becomes a living soul. He said, let us make man in our own image and in our own likeness. And he made them male and female. He pulled the female out, and there they stand looking at each other one by one. They're already God.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Story over. Is the story over from this point?
At that point, no.
Well, not. He already created them. They're already gods. All they got to do is, and all they have to do is be obedient and start replenishing other gods. The 1/3 is already back.
Yep.
You see where I'm going with this? All they got to do is just be obedient and start having sexual relations, and they're creating other gods. And everything that births into the world is God. Right. Everything that comes through the womb of that woman is a God, because they already was God.
Well, something happened there that she ended up having. There was interference, and she ended up having a child of the serpent.
No, they just disobeyed. Let's just keep it simple.
Just disobeyed?
They disobeyed, and what did they do in order to commit sin? What is sin?
Transgression of the law.
Transgression of the law. So the Most High came into the picture, and he laid the law down, didn't he? He said, of all the trees of the garden you shall eat. He said, but that one right there in the middle, don't touch it.
She wanted to be wise.
Say that again?
She desired to be wise. She wanted to be able to parlay with the serpent, to be able to go on to be as smart as he was, or if not smarter. And
She already was.
Yeah, but the thing was, she was dealing with a being that was smarter than her, who was created before she ever was.
And she got tricked, didn't she? She got deceived, didn't she?
Well,
yes, she did.
her.
Only to do.
Well, I have a question. Wait a minute. Why, when the 1/3 got swept out, couldn't he have immediately, y'all couldn't have immediately recovered them?
He did. He did it, Samaya. He did it in the garden. He immediately jumped into plan B and created Adam and Eve. And the immediate structure of it, because guess what? The earth was made for us. So he created this planet. He created those two beings. He said, I want you to replenish and multiply. Boom, 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 boom. All you had to do was just be obedient.
Mm-hmm.
He already did do that. All they had to do was be obedient, and they would have birthed other gods. The 1/3 would have been birthed. It would have went on, and everybody would have been okay.
Okay.
But somebody stood in the way. They didn't want that to happen.
Go through the room, and why do we have to be born when he could have just grabbed us back in? Is my question.
Because you what? Somebody tell her, why do you have to be born in order? Somebody explain that to her. Do anybody know? It's in the book of Enoch. We read that a long time ago.
He said he's not gonna create beings no more. They're gonna have to go through a trial period.
And anything that is birthed on the earth has to be on the earth. So it was a process that he made to create man and woman to come together as one, to go through the sexual process and the reproductive process of birthing the gods. Birthing. And all they had to do was be obedient.
And he also did it for his own good pleasure.
Absolutely.
Everything that he's done for his own good pleasure.
He did it for his own good pleasure.
You have to look at the part about the seed, too. The seed is, he said, seed bearing seed, so the body houses the spirit. Just like the apple seed houses the life of the apple is in the seed. So the shell is housing the life, just like our bodies are housing the spirit. There's a spirit in our body.
That's right. Absolutely. You're on point with that one. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So the flesh, I'm going to mess with that. So the flesh would house, like he said, the spirit of the third, and that's how we would have our human experience. So we would have a human experience, but we would be God. We would look like we was human, but we would be God.
As long as we did not sin.
And say that again?
As long as we did not sin. As long as we did not fall.
Because the sin does what? It separates you from who?
Yeah.
It separates you from Yah. So when they sinned, when they disobeyed, he said, don't touch the tree. All you have to do is be obedient and don't touch the tree. They did it anyway because Lucifer had already done it.
And
he was already separated.
And that's why the Messiah was sent unto the world.
You're moving too fast. Hold on, I got to go back. I got to go back to my point because that's not the point I'm trying to make. I got to ask you a question. Okay, here we go. You ready? Here we go. Knowing good and evil. Here we go. This is the question. Okay, here we go. So it's the redemption of the one-third began to move in the direction planned in order to bring them back into right statute with the Most High. Watch. Okay, Isaiah 45, 1 through 7. This is what I need you to clear for me. This is where I'm lost. It says, verse 1, thus saith the Most High to the anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden to subdue nations before him. I will loose the loins of kings to open before him the two-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Most High, which called thee by thy name, am the Elohim of Israel. For Yaakov, which is Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel my elect, I have called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. I am the Most High, and there is none else. There is no Elohim beside me. I gird thee, though thou hast not known me, that thou may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside thee. I am the Most High, and there is none else. Here we go. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, do all these things. What is evil? Now, my interpretation of what evil is an entity that directly persuades a person or being to disobey God and do the opposite of good. To provoke or persuade a rebellion among the heavenly deities. My question to you is, was evil a being, or what is it?
Spirit.
Was it a being? It's a spirit.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody said it's Satan. It can't be him.
It's knowledge. It's knowledge.
Oh, it's knowledge.
It's perverted knowledge.
In other words, lies spelled backwards.
That's smart. I didn't think about that.
I agree with
perverted
the
knowledge. It's perverted knowledge. That's what serpent. That's what he went against what the Most High said do. So it's perverted knowledge.
So yeah, lies spelled backwards. That's what I mean.
It's somebody said it's perverted knowledge. So then, if that's the case, was it a setup? Was Lucifer sacrificed?
Was he set up?
Yeah, was he set up?
Negative. I don't think no. Because he had a choice. He was right next to the throne. So he had a choice. Matter of fact, he was the first being that was created.
No, he wasn't. He said in Ezekiel that he saw him fall from heaven, O thou Lucifer, that was created. But you got those archangels, they were formed. They were formed. That's why to the day they have never veered from the Most High, because they were formed. But the created being, this being came up in the created being. Lucifer was created.
That's what I mean.
He wasn't one of the seven.
Okay, but he had a choice, though, right?
Yes.
Well, they all have a choice, but we go back to the four elements: fire, ice, and all that. The Most High is pure fire. He tells you that in Ezekiel 1:26. From his waist upward and from his waist downward, he was pure fire. He have no flesh on him. So therefore, he can't deal with humans or no other beings. So he created 7 angels from fire with a lesser fire than him. They are the ones that deal with his creation.
On that, all of this is
so Lucifer was created. He wasn't formed.
Like fire?
He was created. He wasn't formed.
Okay.
I didn't know.
He is a creator.
He has free will, though, right?
Yeah, he got free will.
So then, guess what? When he broke the law, because there had to be a law there for him to break, he broke the law. He separated himself from Yah and began to build a what do you want to call it, treason. He committed treason and began to try to build a kingdom of his own. But in order to build that kingdom, he wanted that kingdom to be here on the earth.
Right. Because he can do anything except for evil.
So what you have to look at is that it says in the beginning the Most High created the heavens and the earth, and he said he brought the land up out of the water, and it was good. So it wasn't nothing wrong with it. So you got to look at the solar system. Look at the solar system now, how Mars is jacked up, and Venus, all those planets are jacked up. Something happened because when he made it was good. And so when something happened between that it got to do with what Satan does.
Yeah, and it threw everything off course. Everything off course.
And he wasn't where the Most High was at. He had his own place. And that's how he conjured all this up. And so when the Most High came, he shook the whole place. And so with Genesis 1:1, he's returning to the universe. And so he cast a third of the angels out and Satan into outer darkness. They were just out and out of darkness. Then Genesis 1:1, he brought the light to the earth. When he brought the light to the earth and to the garden, that's when Satan came to the light.
Okay, but wait a minute, hold on. With the third, that's a whole different issue. Because a lot of people think that a third of the angels were cast out with him. Now, I believe there were angels that left with him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about that group. I'm talking about Revelation chapter 12, the one where his tail drew a third out of the heaven. So as we begin to replenish the gods and to bring this back into motion, what I'm trying to say is the whole thing was set up so that he could fall because of and to set this whole thing in motion because y'all still knew that Adam and Eve was going to fall. He knew they was going to be disobedient.
But he gave them a choice not to fall. It's like he gave Satan a choice not to fall, whether he's called Lucifer or whatever he was called before he became Hasatan.
But did he know they was going to fall? But did he know they was going to fall?
Yeah.
I mean, once he made that choice, he knew what was going to happen. He made the choice and went on to walk away from Yah and also his laws. I mean, there were angels there were so many angels who loved him and wanted him to do right by Yah, even the Son of God. Talked to him, tried to beg him, plead with him to turn. We don't know how many eons that it took. We have no idea. But the thing was that he made the choice, and the choice that he made, it damaged the relationship between him and Yah so greatly that he will never, ever, ever be saved. And those angels that followed him, they made the choice also. Yet they had a chance to be saved. However, he tricked them and told them that it was too late for them. And they believed what he said instead of believing that Yah will go on and forgive them of their transgression. But when they had attacked the kingdom, when they went on ahead and they used force to go on to go and attack the throne, that's when Yah had to go on and kick them out. And he did.
How could they conjure up in their mind anybody that know the Most High? How can they conjure up in their mind to attack Yah?
That is the extremity of sin, man. That's his sacrifice.
But we did it, though. Israel did it.
No. I mean, but they didn't attack him. They sinned against him. I mean, what intellectual creature that has any kind of concept of who the Most High is would even think about trying to attack him?
Well, what made him want to attack him in the first place was because he saw his reflection and he thought he was the most beautiful, the most smartest creature in heaven.
Can we look at it like this? When Satan, the Most High is, we see in Ezekiel 1:26 that the Most High is pure fire from his waist up down. He cannot deal with creatures no kind of way because he automatically consume it. That's why he created the seven. So Lucifer, I know. Let me finish. So he continued to wreak havoc. He said he wreaked so much havoc. He forced the Most High hand, and he shut the whole creation down.
So he provoked him to anger.
He provoked him to anger. He kept on going, and the Most High got tired of him, and he shut the whole creation down. And so even to this day, you got angels hiding in the dark because they know now what he's capable of. That's what happened.
He did not destroy him.
They didn't attack him. They didn't attack him because can't nobody attack the Most High.
But there was a war in heaven, though, and they were fighting against the forces of good was fighting. I told y'all this was gonna get good. Everybody listening, the ladies done quit out. There was a war. Something happened. The war happened, and they were actually fighting with each other. But my thing is, when that was over with, and we are in the garden, the Most High allowed the serpent the same one who messed up in the heavens to tempt the man and the woman. He allowed it.
The Most High allowed also the unfallen world to see what was to see who Satan truly is. He had to allow his character to develop fully. And it came to develop fully when the Son of God was born here. When he came to this earth and when he was crucified on that cross or the tree. And that's when the whole character came into being.
I know where you're going. I understand where you're going, but I'm trying to prove a point in the garden, because the point that I'm trying to make is that we already he set a plan in motion for the gods to be redeemed. That plan was set in motion. All they had to do was be obedient, and then they would birth God. But because the test was put before them and they failed the test, guess what we had to do? We had to rewind everything, and we had to be in the situation that we're in right now.
All the wars, all of the wars you think of as evil is happening because of that point right there in time.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let's look at his name is Samuel. First of all, that's his name, Samuel.
Right.
So let's look at Lucifer, and let's look at his characteristics, because the Most High created the angels. They have different characteristics that they do. So Satan is the most beautiful thing that the Most High created. He describes him in Ezekiel. So isn't that the characteristics of a priest? He's got a voice. He got an awesome voice. He was the priest. He was over the priesthood. He was a high priest in heaven, as above, so below. So he's a high priest.
About that. I mean,
no, I'm saying. So he was a high priest. So we got to look at what happened. So he deals with the high priest that's in Jerusalem. Goes to the king. None of the priests, none of the Levites go deal with the king. Only the high priest deals with the king. The king never deal with none of the Levites. So if Satan is the high priest in heaven, the angels that was with him are priests. They couldn't deal with the Most High. So when the Most High judged Satan, because they never dealt with him, they said, "What you doing?" They didn't understand what he was doing to him, because all they know was they answered to him. So when the Most High cast him out, they went with him. So the war that's going on is that you got that priesthood that was in heaven was cast out. They're trying to usurp the Most High. His law. They're attacking the law. The whole thing that's going on now is they're attacking the law.
I don't know about no priesthood, bro. As far as him.
I'm just something you put on your mind. That's all.
I hear you.
Hold on. Y'all take a deep breath. Hold on. So, Maya, what you got in the chat? Anybody got anything in the chat?
Yeah, I have a question from a guest who really wanted to know, is Lucifer the devil or Satan, in other words? Are they all, they're the same person or being?
You know what? That is the $1 million question. He has been called the devil, that old serpent. Yes, I think that is the characteristic of his. Some people would say no. We're going to study that one day and find out for sure what the scriptures say. But I would say that he started out as the angelic being. Like he said, I don't know about priesthood. I don't know about that, but I do know that he started out as the right-hand man. He was the right-hand man. And because of his disobedience and what he did and caused the war to go on up there, that caused, like Brother Leonard said, all of the planets are out of disarray. They're right now on Mars saying there used to be water on Mars. We see where if we were able to do this and change the atmosphere, that we can change the atmosphere where it would be conducive for people to live. You know, that we would be able to have, I think, is it hydrogen and something where Mars would be livable. But at one point, people lived on Mars. You know, then they said on the moon, the moon is what did they say it was? It was a space station where different vehicles come in and they draw from it and this and that and other. Man is trying to figure out what happened. But it was a war that took place.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is that even with the war that took place, he created Adam and Eve to be able to birth the gods and then allow for them to be tested to see whether or not they were going to be obedient. And because of their disobedience, we have to go back and like, he wrote the end of the story, and we got to go all the way back to the beginning and start it all over again, the redemption of the gods. And in order for you to get through that, you got to come through sin, because sin was set in motion in the garden, and they transgressed the law.
And that's why we have to go on to to go on to make the wise choice. I mean, you think about all those millions of people that perished because they made the wrong choice, except for 8. And the wrong choice was that when they went on ahead, a lot of them had sex with those angels, and the bloodline of man was contaminated. It was contaminated.
So that's why they died.
Yeah.
They died because they was hybrid, not because they were green.
Yeah. So that's the first. That's the first rebellion. That's just the first one. Now, don't go ahead of me, Brother Leonard, because I want to get to the second rebellion, because we got to be able to deal with that. And that's when those angels came down and they slept with the women. But do you see the danger of the first rebellion and what that did to us?
Yes.
The game would have been over. Yeah. The game would have been over. All they had to do, he would have gave them permission. Okay, y'all can now have sex with each other and start birthing children.
So how many rebellions was? How many rebellions was? How many rebellions was?
Well, I mean, everybody got. Well, I think for the angelic beings there were 3.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
There were 3 for the angelic beings. I'm just talking about the angelic beings and how by them intertwining with us, they caused the man species to rebel too. You know, and like he said, by him doing that, Cain was the first hybrid.
Right.
Cain was the very first hybrid.
Right.
He was. And I know that's a hard pill for some people to swallow, but that's he was the very first one.
How about Ham?
Hamite. Well, you know.
I'm saying as far as when Ham saw his father's nakedness.
Well, well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, Ham is not, you know, in terms of a angelic being. You know, he did something that was terrible. But when we talk about the rebellion of the angelic being, I mean,
the father of the Hamites were up there having. Since he's the father of the Hamites, and the Hamites were doing the things with some of those fallen angels. What can I say?
That's the rebellion. Yes.
What was that chapter in Isaiah that you read? I'm sorry, I missed it. I was
Isaiah 45.
Isaiah
where
chapter
45 says, "I created evil," and we were trying to figure out what's evil. Is it an entity? Is it a spirit? Is it a thought? Is it a choice? Well, we know it's a choice because you have to make the choice. But we're talking about the gods that are coming and mingling themselves with the seed of men. And when did it start? Because it really started in the garden.
Yep. Okay, I just want to know where.
When you read the chapter, I think it's in the book of Jude, it tells you that Cain was of the evil one. When it says that you are of something, that means you are part of that seed. Let's go to it. Can you see the serpent? Can you see the serpent? Lord have mercy, help me, God. All right, here we go. It says, I will put, verse number 5, we're in the book of Jude in the New Testament. I will therefore put in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Most High, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believed not. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, have he reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of this great day. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right one. I want to make, okay, here it is. Hold your horses. Let me make sure I got the right scripture here. All righty. Just a second. Okay, I can read this way. Here we go. And it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah, the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignitaries. Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, does not bring him a railing accusation, but said, the Most High rebuked thee. And what that means is that there's still an order in the hierarchy that even though Lucifer has fallen, there's still a matter of respect of who he was. Now, when we was in Christianity, they used to tell us all the time, everybody stand up, we're going to stomp on the devil's face. And I just look at them like, yeah, okay, till he show up. And we're going to see. But these see evil of those things which they know not, but they know naturally as brute beasts and those things that corrupt. Where is my scripture at? Hold on, let me find that scripture. Because it said that Cain was of the evil one. Let me see if I got the right scripture. Hold on just a minute. I apologize to you guys. But yeah, they used to always say that, like, okay, everybody stand up, we're going to stomp on the devil. I said, until, hold on. Here we go. I apologize for that, y'all. Hold on. Here we go. Let me see where we at. Verse John chapter 3. 1 John chapter 3. I thought it was in the book of Jude. I do apologize. 1 John chapter 3. Where it talks about he is of the evil one. When you're of something, that's a seed.
Yeah,
that is a seed. Hold on. Let's see. 1 John chapter 3, verses 12. It says, not as Cain, who was of the wicked one and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil and his brother righteous. So when it says you are of someone, what does that mean?
Out of the lineage of.
You out of the lineage of. Cain was Lucifer's son. Any question? He was the first hybrid. Any question?
So that means his lineage, those that, his offspring, I should say, were as he is, I would imagine.
That's right. That's the soul. Where does the lineage go through, sis? The lineage goes through who?
Father.
The Father. The lineage goes through the Father.
So that's why the scriptures say they born with a lie in their mouth, huh?
So that means that he has a lineage in the earth, and that his seed is of the serpent seed, the hybrid.
And Seth was Adam and Eve's son.
Yes, ma'am.
So is the seed the white people?
Say that again?
I said, is his seed the white people?
No. No.
Oh. Not necessarily, I would think.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Sister, in the chat, I just asked, Yah duplicated with heaven, right?
Say that again.
You want to know, was heaven, created, was earth created like heaven? It's like, does it look like heaven? I'm assuming.
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I have no idea. I don't know.
I see no streets of gold down here.
I have no idea. I don't know. Hold on. Let me give you another scripture to show you that Lucifer is Cain's father. Hold on. Let me open up the screen so you can see it. We're in the book of John. This is in the New Testament. This is chapter 8, verse 44.
Okay.
And this is the Messiah talking, and he is talking to the Pharisees, the Sadducees here. He says, ye. Now, when he's actually talking to some of the people that were standing around him, because he was saying that he knew Abraham. Watch, he said, ye are of your father the devil. Verse 44. And the lust of your father will ye do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. So a lot of people in the church think that that's a spiritual connection. That's not what he was talking about. Because if you read about the wheat and the tare, and you go into the scripture about the wheat and the tare, he's telling the disciples in the New Testament that this has been a secret that has been kept since the foundation of the world.
Yeah,
that there are hybrids that live among us that are of the angelic seed and that are of Lucifer's lineage. Go ahead, Brother Leonard.
Yeah, 2 Samuel chapter 7, when he made the covenant with David, when you understand what you just said, you understand that verse. It's verse 10. It says that, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and I will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them. That's the same people you're talking about.
I believe that. That's what this is about bloodline, and I cannot stress it the more. This is about bloodline. It has always been about bloodline. It will always be about bloodline, and this started in the garden.
Right.
Any questions? Comments?
There's a question in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
HB wants to know, how did Cain's seed continue after the flood?
How did Cain's seed continue after the flood? Somebody answer that question.
I can answer.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you go to Genesis chapter 5.
Hold on, let me get it. I'm getting it because I want to see it. Genesis chapter what?
Genesis chapter 4. Verse 16.
Verse 16. Hold on. Genesis chapter 4, verse 16.
That's where I'm starting at. So we just established that of means out of the lineage of. So it says, Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. Two Enoch. It's two Enoch. This Cain got one called Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irid, and Irid begot Methuselah. Methuselah begot Methuselah, two Methuselah. And Methuselah begot Lamech, two Lamech. And Lamech took unto him two wives. And the name of one was Adar, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Adar bore Jabal, and he was the father of such as dwell in tents, and such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all that handled the harp and the organ. And Zillah, she also bore Tubal. Tubal means out of the lineage of. In the New Testament, they're saying of, but in the Old Testament, Tubal means out of the lineage of. So it says, Tubal came. So that means out of the lineage of Cain. And he's an instructor of artificial in brass, iron, and his sister's name was Naamah. So you go to Genesis 10, after the flood.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get it. Genesis chapter 10. Oh, let me let y'all know, too. Hold on. Let me stop you because I know people getting confused. These are two different lineages. This is not the same lineage that's out of Seth. You got Seth's lineage and you got Cain's lineage. I didn't want to go here, but you know what? It ain't no reason, and you can't not go here. There are two different lineages. You got the lineage of Seth and you got the lineage of Cain, and some of the names are the same.
Right.
So, hold on. Let me get chapter 10. I'm going to put that up for you. We're going to go through that next week. We got to go through that next week because some of the names are exactly the same, and some people intermingle the two, and it's like, no. Okay, so we're going in 10.
So chapter 10, Tubal means out of the lineage of Cain. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were born sons after the flood. Now we had Japheth. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Midian, Jabin, Tubal, Meshach, and Tyler. There's lineages right there. So he told Noah, go and get 2 of every kind and bring them on the ark and keep alive. 2 of all flesh. That includes Cain's lineage.
That's a possibility. I mean, that's a possibility. That is a possibility.
What? What did he say?
That includes Cain's lineage. He said, get 2 of everything of all flesh. Let me read it.
How you gonna get 2 Cains? That's a man.
No, he said, get 2 of all Cain's seed. So he says, right here.
I mean, it came in some kind of way because they came in. It's just like the giants came back in after the flood. How they get back in after the flood? I done heard so many stories about that. Some of them say they ran underground. Some people say they came in through Ham and Japheth's wives. There's so many different stories.
In 16 and 19, 16, chapter 6, verse 18 says, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee, and every living thing of all flesh. 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. So he had to get a male and a female from Cain's lineage.
So how they get on the ark? Because it was only 8 people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you get a revelation like this here, and you see it, then you have to go back and see somebody lied to you. Because of so let's. I want to say one thing. I'm gonna shut up. So we see right here that Japheth is. I'm showing you Japheth is. Now I'm gonna go to Ezekiel 37. After he goes to the valley of Jehoshaphat and pleads for her. Look what he says. I'm in Ezekiel 38, and he says,
Hold on. Let me pull it up because I want to see it. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. We gonna get back on topic in just a minute. I just want to see what his point is. Ezekiel chapter what? 38.
38.
Okay, where we going?
Now remember, I just read who Japheth was. Gog and Magog. Those are 2 sons too. Tubal is a son, and Gog and Magog. So right here, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, talking to Ezekiel, set thy face against God and the land of Magog and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. The prophecy against them. That's not Noah's son. These people these Cain seed. He against them. And say, thus said the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So that's
all I'm saying is that Lucifer's seed came into the earth first, which gave him the authority over the land that Adam was supposed to have, over the world that Adam was supposed to have dominion over, because Yah gave Adam and Eve dominion over the whole earth, and when they were tricked, they gave it back to him. And because his son was the firstborn into the earth, that's how he became the prince of the air and the prince of this world. Now, as a result of that, his seed is in the earth. Now, when the angels, that was the first, rebellion. Now, next week we're going to get into the second rebellion, and then we're going to get into the third rebellion, because with each rebellion, hybrids were born from human women into the earth. This ain't just started. Why are you saying that, Diana? Because it didn't just start. And we have always lived among them. They have always mingled them seed among us, and we get ready to go through it again. And they have always been here. This is just start.
And all flesh didn't come from Adam.
No, all flesh didn't come from Adam. Well, I don't know about that, Brother Leonard, because, well,
it couldn't, because if Cain came from the serpent, all of a sudden he belonged to Adam.
Right, and the male had a seed. The male had a seed, so Adam ain't got nothing. Adam don't have nothing to do with Cain.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. Oh, and that reptilian seed has always been in earth.
Right.
Has always been here. From day one. They have mingled themselves with the seed of men all through the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting ready to go through it again where it's going to be prevalent like it was back then. Only difference between then and now, Cain did not look like a regular human. He had an appearance that was different than a regular man. And some people say it was the white skin. That was not it. But that played a part.
It was the white skin. Well, okay, what was his appearance like then?
Well, can I say something on that?
Yeah, go ahead. I know he wants to.
When you're out and about from now on out, start looking at these necks on these people.
Look at what?
Look at their neck. Look at the necks on some people. Your neck and look at their neck. When you start looking at the news anchors and the people around you and look at their necks, how long their necks is. She just said that he wasn't human. So look at the neck on some of these people and tell me if that's human.
Oh, accordion neck.
Skin texture.
And their skin color, but he was different from the waist down. He was different from the waist down. And he had a different look. So I'm just saying that they have always been here. All this reptilian stuff is new, and it's just not new. There's nothing new under the sun. All this stuff has always been here. He has always been here. He has a seed in the earth, and that is just the truth. And that was the first rebellion.
Right.
That was the very first one. And there's 3. So we can't deal with it all in one evening. But I just wanted to make sure we get that first rebellion underway so that you all know that Cain was not Adam's son. He was not. That was a question. Yes, ma'am. We found the scripture.
Is it possible that since the Satan seed is in the earth, that not only have we intermingled with him, some people have had children? And
of course.
Can these people be saved?
That's what Esau did. That was the thing that Esau did. Esau married Ada and the other women that Esau married was from Cain's lineage. That's why the Most High hate him.
Sure did.
And Esau is not. He couldn't be Caucasian. He's
bred into them.
He's Hebrew.
No, he bred into them. He wasn't Caucasian at first, but he bred into them and white it out.
David was red. So
he bred into them.
He didn't say red. He didn't say red. He said he bred into them.
He bred into them and he whited it out.
Well, actually.
And see, the thing about it is, and you know what put me on alert, and I don't mean to sound prejudiced because I'm not under any circumstances, but when Noah was born, there was a scare in the book of Enoch because Noah came here looking like the angels' children.
Right.
Because remember Lamech ran to Methuselah and told, Lamech went to Methuselah and asked Methuselah to go to Enoch to find out whether or not his wife had been sleeping with the watchers, because he said that baby looked like one of the watchers.
I remember that story.
And remember when, I don't know if you guys have heard on YouTube, the giant of Kandahar, and they were talking about how this giant came out of the cave and the military men shot him in the face. Well, I was listening Friday to the recording of one of the pilots that flew him back. And the man asked him, well, what color was his skin? He said his skin was white. He said, that shocked me because being over in the Middle East and over in that area, we just knew he would look Middle Eastern. He said, but he had white skin.
Yeah, red hair.
Yeah. And I was like, wow. You know, I'm like, wow. And not saying that all white people are of the lineage of Cain. I can't say that because there are black people that are of his lineage too.
Some of them know they can lie.
Ham.
Yeah, ham, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. My mom said my dad lied when it wasn't even necessary.
See? I mean, this story is...
I didn't choose to be like him. Thank you, y'all.
Ooh, hallelujah. I'm just saying, I want to bring up the seed of the wheat and the tare. I want to read this to you. Hold on, let me get this down here. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't call him Jesus because I don't believe in all that. Here we go. Check this out. This is Matthew chapter 13. He was talking about the parable. He said, in all these things spake Yahshua unto the multitude in parable, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parable, and I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. And Yahshua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares in the field. And he answered and said, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. He said, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom. He said, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. He said, the enemy that sows them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. And therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So this was something that was known, that these beings, these hybrids were here. Yes, some of them have been, yes, this has been the whole program of infiltration and mingle. Because what better way to take over a world than to infiltrate it from within? And to be able to lay with a woman, wait a minute, what about the scripture in the Bible that talks about woman covering her hair because of the angels? Hold on. They ain't stop. Hold on, let me get it for you. I was just reading it today. I'm so sorry about my memory, but we had issues with that. I used to do some things when I was young that I'm really not proud of, but hold on, here we go. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11, it says, but I would have you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is Yah. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head. But every woman that pray or prophesy with her head uncovered dishonors her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if a woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and the glory of Yah, but the woman is the glory of the man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. They still doing it.
What does that mean, though?
The angels are still attracted to the woman.
No, have power on her head.
Power on your head. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean? They say, now see, now we're going to get into some strange stuff. But they say that the angels are attracted to the woman's hair.
Right.
And this is what draws them to her because of her hair. And they are more attracted to long hair. It's supposed to be a sexual thing. They're supposed to be erotic over that because you're talking about angels that came here with a sexual appetite for human women.
I knew that.
You did?
I know about that.
So is that why women in the mother country or the motherland and what they call the Middle East, is that why they cover their heads?
I have no idea. I don't even want to lie to you and say yes. I don't know if that's why. I have no idea. But the woman, and I don't know if it's more of because she is to have a man to protect her, to keep her from falling into that same temptation. When it says a covering, that it's him actually covering her.
Yeah, it's more so for the men that's around her.
We can't, Brother Leonard.
Say it again.
It's more so for the men around her, not to tempt him.
Yeah, because some of them could be angels.
Right.
And perhaps that's why many women of color don't have incredibly long or beautiful hair, so that the fallen angels won't be attracted to us.
Well, that's not the case. That's not the case. That's not the case. What you have to understand is Cain's lineage, Cain's daughters. Remember that the serpent was the most beautiful thing. It's when Cain's daughters was born that they came down. That's what I wanted to talk about. Was you go to Ham's lineage, and Ham's firstborn son is named Messerine. Well, that's a giant. And then you go to chapter 10, verse 13, all the way to 20. It's them all giants. So when you understand that, it lets you know where these giants came down. They came down. Genesis chapter 6 happened in Egypt, in Africa. But anyway, Cain, and then you have to see, we know what you get when an angel cohabitate with a woman, you get a giant. So now when Cain's daughters, they big. They big. So these angels wasn't able to come down and deal with me. These big women. Ada. That's what Esau was attracted to Ada for. Esau wanted giants for sons. So that's why he went and got these big women. And that's what Amalek is. Amalek is a giant. Seth knows. That was the purpose of Esau breeding with him. He didn't care about his Hebrew heritage. He wanted giants in his lineage. So he bred with those giant women.
And you know what? The more we read this and the more this story is exposed, ain't no telling what is going on. I am really serious here. You know, this is more of an infiltration of the seed, of the DNA, of the, you know what I'm saying, to be able to take over this earth. And here we have Israel all by himself that the Most High has chosen for his portion.
Right? Wow. We're surrounded.
And surrounded by all kind of stuff.
We are. They're everywhere.
And these people, and guess what? Their lineages are the ones that run these governments.
That's right.
Right. So he says that when Esau and Jacob was born, everybody assumed, the verse says that one shall be stronger than the other. Everybody assumed Jacob is stronger than Esau, but it's not the case. Esau is stronger than us. When it all played out and was unfolded, Esau, when he got these giant women, and we see now, Esau have us subjugated right now. We're oppressed right now because the fourth beast is Rome, and Rome is Edom. Rome became Edom. So he's stronger than us. And if the Most High don't come back, he's going to try to annihilate us.
It ain't over yet.
Oh,
yeah, but I'm saying he's strong enough. The Most High has to come back. If the Most High don't come back, we're not gonna get out of this fix he got us in. If the Most High don't come back,
story. This his story, so I'm gonna go and ride it out. Ride with the Most High, baby.
But the
Most High not talking. I'm talking.
Do you understand how important Israel is now?
Say what?
We are more important than we ever know.
That's right.
So again, like I said earlier today, the whole world is watching us. Everything we do, everything we say, how we conduct ourselves, they watching. Because this is a fight over this doggone planet. And ain't no